Hello, everyone. It's an honor to join you again at the University of Winchester, and I'm happy to join you at this session. Looking forward to joining you in less than 3 weeks at the university. My intervention today will be on the subject of reconciliation in Muslim communities. Reconciliation in Muslim communities is a timely issue, keeping in mind that we have more than 27 points of tensions or wars in countries with a Muslim majority. This surely raises the importance of examining the principles and approaches of conflict resolution and reconciliation that could work in those environments. Obviously, this will make it necessary to define the role religion can play in reconciliation. Islam, unfortunately, has been instrumented by radicals to legitimize terrorism, discrimination, and hatred towards others. Distorted readings of Islam have been and are still being used to prolong wars and conflicts around the world. We need, at this critical stage, to define and shape the field of Islamic peace-building and reconciliation and conflict resolution with narratives and goals that counter the agendas of radical warlords that depend on distorted readings of Islam. We need to investigate and dig for reconciliation strategies that are constructed within an Islamic framework, strategies that are derived from Quranic evidence and other narratives. Very, very, very little work was done in this field. And from my understanding, the principles of reconciliation in Islamic texts affirm Islamic peace-building efforts at 7 principal levels. The first level, and this is clearly mentioned in the Quran, that all of humanity has a common origin, and human dignity must be recognized and respected for all, regardless of religion, ethnicity, or social background. The second principle is that diversity of culture should be celebrated for the richness of traditions and its manifestation of beauty, and not a cause of hatred between those who have different backgrounds, cultures, and religions. Thirdly, Muslims striving to improve the world must cooperate and collaborate and engage in dialogue with people around them, with others, and amongst themselves to foster peace. Unfortunately, very little dialogue is taking place within Muslim societies, regardless of the tensions between Muslim societies and others. The fourth principle is a clear Quranic principle. The Quranic verse says there is no compulsion in religion. There's no compulsion in religion, politics, culture, or any other aspect of life. The fifth principle, and we need to go into something more practical, reconciliation tactics within the Quran have pointed out to some important strategies. First of all, parties in conflict have the option of resolving their dispute through a third-party mediator who would ensure that all parties were satisfied with the outcome of the dialogue or the negotiation. Other practices could use what we call in traditional Islamic texts tahkim, or using an intermediary to represent the party. These intermediaries should be able to represent the party's position as clearly as possible and to negotiate on their behalf and guarantee that the parties receive a fair settlement. Now, this fair settlement could involve a financial compensation, specific gestures of sympathy or public demonstration of reconciliation, apologies. It is clear from this that religious texts from the principles I've mentioned can be understood in many different ways. The different articulations of war and peace that have emerged in Islamic thought testify to the conflicting interpretations of reconciliation and explain some of the key Quranic verses dealing with the topic in a very conflicting way. It's required more than ever to motivate thinkers, scholars, to develop a clear understanding of how Quranic guidelines could be implemented in reconciliation processes. And I believe this is not only this will not only lead to widening the perspectives and understanding of how Muslim communities could approach reconciliation, it will also counter the negative and distorted readings of Islam that glorify violence, that glorify war, and that attempt to use killings and violence as a mean to reach their goals. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Looking forward to meeting you soon. Thank you.